What's poppin'? What's up, guys? Today we're going to be going through my Instagram DM and answering some of your questions. This used to be a thing on my channel, however I kind of just let it go, but I used to be doing these Q&A videos on the reg, so hopefully we can bring something like that back. This series is going to be exclusive to my Instagram DM, so if you're not following me already, it's at DwkYTContact_. Link will be in the description. Start us off, Alabaster. Hey bro, I was watching your videos. Thank you. About joining the Navy, and they have been super helpful, but I was wondering if you know a bit more about getting to rank to E2 or E3 while you're in boot camp. Like what you have to do to get those ranks. I'm so glad you asked because I know exactly how to answer that. Also, were you lying about watching all my videos, dog? Because I explained it. All right, so DEP advancement can happen in multiple ways. So you can refer friends and you can advance in the DEP program. You can come in with college points. You can come in as like a Boy Scout, Girl Scout leader, whatever you guys call them. I don't know. I had a good like upbringing. My parents loved me, so they didn't put me in Boy Scouts. I'm gonna piss there's gonna be a weird demographic of Boy Scouts that watch my channel for some reason, and they are gonna be pissed. But the most common way is the DEP advancement test. Now, this is how I picked up E2 out of boot camp. No one should be in E2 by the end of boot camp. I came in as an E1. No one should be in E2. They literally tell you how to get free rank and free money, how to start promoting faster. So first thing you want to do, take that DEP start guide they gave you at DEP when you DEP'd in, study the shit out of it. It's gonna be ranks, terminology, flags and shit, and you're gonna take a test on that in boot camp. You're literally like first week, you're gonna take the DEP advancement test. You have to pass that at a minimum to even go on to the next steps. I would highly recommend, and this is what I did, load the questions and answers into Quizlet and just repetitively cycle them through and then just dump it at the end. After you pass the DEP advancement test, you have to pass your first PFT. After passing your first PFT, you have to pass your swim. After passing your swim, you should be eligible to rank up to E2 in boot camp. Now, is that where you have to start? No, you can rank up to E3 while in boot camp. You can literally go from E1 to E3 in 2 months. Otherwise, there's a time and rate waiver where you'll be waiting a year plus. So to get E3, what you're gonna wanna do is get a noticeable job that your chief, your division chief commander is gonna see and recognize as someone who's a hard worker. Each division's chief has a percentage of people that they can promote to the next rank up to E3. No one's gonna be petty officer out of boot camp, but each chief has a percentage of people that they can actually advance in the spot. This is typically your AROC, RPOC, yeoman, stuff like that. So the more commanding role you get in boot camp, the easier it's gonna be for you to get that rank. I didn't get that rank, but again, it's automatic, it's just time and rate, doesn't really matter that much anyway. Second up, Hendrick808 said, thoughts on Navy nursing? I think Navy nursing is one of the best avenues you could go for military nursing. Now, nursing is a commissioned role in the US military, and you can choose between the Air Force, Coast Guard, Navy, and Army. Marine Corps does not have one because they use the Navies. Now, I'm probably biased because I'm in the Navy, but hear me out. Navy has the most diverse, and I mean diverse billets you could ever think of. We can go with the Army, we can go with the Coast Guard, we can go with the Marines, CBs, Spec Ops, you name it. So these Navy nurses can literally be like with the Marines for 2 years, and then they can go be with the CBs for 2 years, then they can go be the Army for 2 years, they can do flight medic stuff. Other branches do not have it as complex as that. Like as an Air Force nurse, you can just go sit in a clinic somewhere. Army nurses, sure, they have forward deployed Army nurses in like shock trauma platoons, but so does the Navy, plus the other stuff we get to do. So yeah, I think it'd be a good avenue if that's something you're interested in. Next up, drug usage. Hey, I have a question. His name is literally drug usage. Hey, I have a question. I don't know if it's a guy. There's like an anime girl in the thumb. Hey, I have a question. I leave for Navy September 17th, and I want to marry my girl when I get back from A school. How do I go about doing that? I don't have to ask to get married, but I want that BAH and benefits, so how do I do that? So, first tip, you're super young. Wait, you haven't even left for boot camp yet is what you're telling me. You don't know what's gonna happen, bro. Like tons of people who were dating chicks for years go to boot camp, they get through their A school, which is, you know, mine was like 4 to 5 months plus boot camp, then FMTB add another 2 months. So like almost like a year before I came home again. Bro, it's not gonna be the same as you think. You gotta make sure she's the one. Don't marry her off the bat just because you're joining boot camp. Secondly, how to actually go about it administratively. So after you get married, you should get a certificate of marriage. From that date is when they're gonna start paying paying you BAH. Even if you turn in the paperwork later, they backdate it to that date of marriage. So if you get paid in the direct middle of the month, you're gonna get paid for half that month BAH. Basic allowance for housing is based off the zip code of your duty station. So if you're stationed in San Diego, like at Miramar, my last base, you're gonna get as an E5 like $2,800 just for BAH on top of your regular paycheck. Your basic allowance for subsistence, free dental, free healthcare for you and your wife. So yeah, Mill Connect and Military One Source are great, you know, resources. Jesus, did I just blank on the word resources? If you're thinking about that, but all you gotta do is turn it into PSD or your PSs, your administrative manpower department, and they do the rest for you. You're gonna change your page too and shit, but you'll worry about that later. Morgan. So next up we had Fred Drew. It's like Andrew with Fred. Very creative, man, very cool. He said, "Hi man, I'm sure you get this a lot and you might not even have the time to reply to me, but I am one of your biggest fans. And you are the reason I joined the Navy, even though I'm 28. But I've been watching your videos and I just admired what you have accomplished, so I decided to be a corpsman as well. Long story short, I was among the people who had an unusual experience at boot camp since the graduation got canceled, the FEP phase, but I really, so now I'm at A school just starting classes, but I really need some of your advice on the school matter. I don't know anyone who's better at this than you, so here goes. I'm pretty sure that I would love to do FMTB, Field Medical Training Battalion. If you guys are not familiar with that, that's where Navy corpsmen go to get Marine Corps training to be stationed with the Marines. But I'm not sure how that works or if I would have the chance to get it after A school. And I know in your previous videos, you were talking about maybe stay away from C school in the beginning so we can kind of feel around and then decide if we want to invest in a certain area. So my question is, if I ask for C school later, when I'm in the fleet, and if I do C school first, would I still be able to do FMTB? Because I heard that Big Navy has already invested money for me to go to C school. They might not want me to do FMTB. So I would really appreciate some of your opinions. Thank you so much. I found out 2 months ago. I missed so many of your videos. I'm going to binge watch them now. Keep it up, my man. First of all, dude, thank you so much for watching my videos. It genuinely does mean a lot when you guys watch through my stuff instead of just click on it. As you guys know, like 80 something % of my views on my channel are people who are not subscribed, which kind of makes me sad because like you get a weird ego boost when your subscriber number goes up and it makes you more motivated to make more videos. But essentially, do I think, you know, FMTB is worth it in the long haul, and is he able to go after C school? So that's a variable, man. It depends what your C school is, because if you guys don't know, hospital corpsmen medics in the Navy have like 33 different types of specialties. If you pick a specialty that has nothing to do with the Marine Corps, you will not go to FMTB. There's literally no reason to send you. You'd have to drop your NEC, and if you got a complex NEC, they're not gonna let you drop it. So like if you're a cardiovascular tech, right? You're gonna be put in a hospital 10 times out of 10. Respiratory therapy tech, you're gonna get put in a hospital 10 times out of 10. Physical therapy tech, you're gonna be put in a clinic or hospital. They don't really need you greenside. Majority of, if not all lab, will never go greenside. There is a few with MLG, but that's very rare. X-ray, extremely rare. Pharmacy tech, like unheard of. And if they are going greenside, they're not taking their actual C school billets and they just got hooked up by a detailer. But if you go like dental tech, IDC, preventive medicine tech, those are all needed greenside in high demand. So yeah, I would say if you want to go greenside and you don't want to be an IDC, become a Prev Med Tech. At any point, you can go back to FMTB. There is literally like 38-year-olds going through FMTB. Next up, my man, B. Ryan Morn. Hello, my name is Brian. I'm a 15-year-old and I want to be a Navy diver. As you probably know, there isn't much information on the career field since it's so small. Could I ask you some questions about the job? If only you would have just sent the question. This one I read first to make sure it's a question. You know what's the weirdest part? You guys, I love when you guys hit me up. I pretty much always reply eventually. Sometimes they get filtered out in spam, but I try my best to reply. People will be like, hey, can I ask you a question? Just send the question. Just send the question, man. Too Fresh Merriman. Hey, my name is Nate. I want to enlist and become a Navy SARC, Special Amphibious Reconnaissance Corpsman. These are the Spec Op Corpsmen that go with Marine Corps Spec Ops, either Raider battalions or Recon. I had a few questions about the pipeline, and I was wondering if there was a recruiter you knew or something I could talk to about getting a contract and what to expect in the field and in the pipeline. So essentially, if you're already in, what you want to do is talk to your command career counselor, and he's going to give you a 2808, 2807 to see if you're even physically qualified and then you can meet up with one of the recon, detachments and or another spec op detachment if you can't have anyone near you to do the PFT on you to see if you qualify, document it, and then you can go to basic reconnaissance course. After passing that, you go through like a plethora of different pipelines. If you're gonna be a special amphibious reconnaissance corpsman, you're gonna be like 2 years in the pipeline. It is a STAR program, but because you worded it, is there a recruiter I can talk to? I'm assuming you're not even in the military yet. So step one would be to secure a corpsman contract. You're not gonna get recon corpsman contract off the get-go. I mean, you can always talk to the spec op recruiters, like they recruit for diver and stuff like that. However, they can't really guarantee corpsman billets off the bat. Normally you have to go to corps school first. If you tell them your intention is to go spec op with special amphibious reconnaissance corpsmen because they're so undermanned, they're like 40%. If you tell the recruiters that, maybe they can hook you up with a detailer to get you corpsman and then put you on the right avenue. Vanessa said, hey Donnie, I found your YouTube channel and I'm trying to find the differences between reserves and active. I found your active duty versus reserves Navy 2018 video and I found it very helpful. I was wondering if you had any more information or helpful tips for me. I've been thinking about this a few months and I still can't make up my mind between the two. There are so many pros and cons to each. However, my basis is go active because you actually get all the benefits. Reserves, you're not gonna get all the benefits that you're thinking you're gonna get. College, you don't just get a GI Bill. You need 3 years active duty to get a GI Bill. Active. So if you're only working 2 days out of the month, where's the other 28 days? You have to make up the other 28 days. So if you're only working your 2 weeks drill and then the other days out of the month, if you only work 1 month out of the year and you need 36 months active to get your GI Bill, you're gonna work for 36 years. Of course, you go and deploy eventually when you're reserves, and that counts as active time, So it eventually adds up. You're not gonna wait 36 years. That's more of an exaggeration. But if you just want it for the college benefits and stuff like that, go active. It's gonna be quick. Plus, reserves don't get paid that much, man. Especially when you're low ranking. Your reserve pay after it's taxed is pretty much gonna pay for the gas for you to get to the NOSC to drill. Hopefully this answered your guys' questions. If it did, leave a like down below, and I'll see you for episode 2. Go jump in the DMs.